Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
There it is. There we go. That's good. Hey, hi guys, how you doing? Trying to look all interesting like I got stuff to do. What's happening, people? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. This is it. This is all there is. This show. Me. But I got a lot of news for you. Some stories that you may find interesting. At least that's the aim of tonight. That's the focus. That's the goal. Give you something to think about and make sure that you are informed. Because we all know they try to keep us uninformed. Ladies and gentlemen on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube, welcome to the Tim Black Show. All right. First thing I want to do is go make sure that everybody can hear. And I also want to put the phone number up on the screen because it is a Tuesday. And why isn't that showing? Okay, let's go here. Is that it? That's not it. Okay, the phone number's not showing. That's not good. Why does this keep happening, Johnson? Why does this keep happening? Phone number? I don't know why that keeps happening, Johnson. This happened before with the phone number. That's kind of not cool. Okay, well, let me do this before we go to check to make sure you can hear. Let's see if we got this phone number to put back on the screen. Let's go. It's always fun. Did I clear out the freaking phone number again? Shout yourselves out while I do this. This is kind of important. 319-527. 319-527-6212. And that's something Johnson's. You know, you want to have a nice, clean show where things just work. And then you get this. Damn. Jesus, I tell you. Why does it keep dropping out? All right, so people on YouTube, YouTube people, YouTube, let me know you can hear the show, YouTube people. That always helps. Make sure you got volume, YouTube. There it is. Let's do this. Let's download this. So we're downloading this. This should work. All right. It didn't do it that time. Okay, go here. Let's go pick it up. So we are live Tuesdays. See, there we go. See, that's how that works. And then we just smash this down here. Here we go. See, Johnson? Now it's all big and funky out. It's way too robust. It's going to be in the way when we do the edits. All right, let me check YouTube. I just said YouTube, let me know if you can hear the show, YouTube. So let me jump back on here. On YouTube. What up, Sheldon? What's going on? Please share this on YouTube. You sound fine and you look nice too. Thank you, Jeanette Eastman. Jeanette Eastman for the love. Thank you, Jeanette. Lady Jackie, Charles Kinsey, Schultze 100, Over 50 and Fantabulous, Chrissy be talking, my friend Kelly M, Diana M16, The Town I Live In, rocking it, Murray Warren, Girl Brown, Violet at Content Boutique, killing it. There we go, the usual suspects. Kim, Anna, Brian, Crosby. We're carrying signs now. Danny G, a Dingo, Frank Barrow, David Melford, the OG. OG is in the house, man. It's like magic when you people show up. Now, I've been putting Facebook back in the rotation as well as Periscope because I got too many great people on those platforms like Susan Gold, who support the show, like Dolores and Riley and Ryder and Nicholas Estrada and Joy and Tony and Jane and the whole crew. So give it up for my Facebook people. Yes, I got, even though the platform don't be nice to me, even though Facebook acts like they have an issue with us, I don't want to hold that against the Facebook people that represent. So we're on Facebook. We're also on Periscope tonight. Periscope people, how y'all doing? What is the happenings, Periscope peoples? Periscope peoples. So I got a couple stories I want to run through for you. Cover those stories. Let it do what it do. And we're going to do that, definitely. Then we're going to go to phone lines and get that cracking. I see I got one caller in the queue, and I know who that is. Yeah, I know who's in the queue. But first, let me get to these stories that we have to get to, and then we'll open up phone lines because we know we got stories, and we know we got things to talk about. We good? Okay. Everywhere I looked today, there was one story that was on top of the heap. And it was a story like, okay, I expected. Tiger Woods got in a car accident. And Tiger Woods has been a major figure in the United States for the last 20, 30 years. So if Tiger Woods is in a car accident, you know they're going to cover it. They have to cover it. And with Donald Trump being out of the mix, they got to cover it because what else would get people glued other than tragedy? Trump or tragedy. And in some cases, Trump is tragedy. But you get what I'm saying. So, media was chomping at the bit on this Tiger Woods. I mean, they did so much lavish coverage of Tiger Woods without even a statement from Tiger Woods, without anything. Like, there's nothing negative here other than somebody had a car accident. There's no bodies in the trunk. There's no getaway car. There's no fifth of gin in the car seat. There's nothing. There's a person, Tiger Woods, who had a horrible accident. That's all it is. So, of course, they had to play that up. Here goes a couple of clips about Tiger Woods and the unfortunate accident, but the very fortunate media who was so happy to cover it.
Today at 7:12 in the morning, Lomita Sheriff Station received a call of a solo vehicle collision in Hawthorne Boulevard, north of Palos Verdes Drive. We arrived on scene at 7:18 a.m. and discovered the solo vehicle collision, and the sole occupant was, again, Tiger Woods. And deputies, at the time, they did not see any evidence of impairment, anything that of concern. Obviously, the life-saving measures that had to be taken for the occupant of the vehicle, and Chief Osby will speak to that regard. And it was a solo vehicle. Unfortunately, during the course of the investigation of this, there was another traffic collision that happened with people being looky-loos. But that, thankfully, there was no injuries associated with that. The vehicle traveled several hundred feet from the center divider at the intersection and rested on the west side of the road in the brush, sustained major damage to the vehicle. You've seen all the images of that. And with that, our Lomita Sheriff Station will be conducting the traffic investigation, and it'll take from days to several weeks to get the whole thing together. Once the investigation is completed, we will provide a detailed report. It'll be available, based on Public Record Act request, and we will not discuss it any further after that point. But at this point, I want to introduce Chief Darrell Osby, LA County Fire Department.
Upon arrival of the scene of the incident with sheriffs on scene, resources and personnel from the Los Angeles County Fire Department observed a single rollover vehicle incident with one person trapped. The person trapped was extricated by the Los Angeles County Fire Department personnel. Earlier, it was stated that the jaws of life was utilized to extricate the person trapped. It was later determined by our personnel that a Halligan tube, which is used for prying, and an axe was also used to pry the person free from the vehicle. The person was packaged at the incident in stable condition with serious injuries, and because of the fact that they needed to be extricated, they were transported to Harbor UCLA Hospital because of the extrication, and Harbor Hospital is also a trauma center. As indicated earlier, there's also a second vehicle accident with no injuries. Thank you.
All right. Now, the reason why I showed you that clip and not other clips is because that clip is the most concise clip you're going to see. In fact, folks, I want to tell you that if you were sitting at home today or by a screen, you would have saw lots and lots of coverage of what happened with Tiger Woods. And all of the fluff and all of the other grandiose, whatever the hell they want to call this, all of the meandering that they did in the media world today, that 2-minute clip was all you really needed. Because a lot of misinformation was pumped out. A lot of misinformation, a lot of innuendos, a lot of speculation, and just some straight up nonsense. So as the officer reported there was misreported that the jaws of life were used to extract Tiger Woods from the aluminum foil-like crumbled vehicle. An over-dramatization. An axe was used. And a prior-like tool, which is pretty typical. Jaws of life just sounds better. Gotta click it when it's the jaws of life. They were also reporting that he was in critical condition. According to the officer there, he wasn't in critical condition, he was in stable condition. They said he had life-threatening injuries. According to the officer, he had serious injuries. A little bit different there in severity, wouldn't you think? There was no passengers with him. There was no alcohol found at the scene, no foul play. There was nothing. So, this is what our media does. It exaggerates. Now, is this a mundane issue? No. Tiger Woods is a very popular person. He's a sports hero. He's a legend. Okay? And so they got to cover it, and they should cover it. People care about what happens to Tiger Woods, even if some people just hate watch. But to the level that they went, guys, it was just totally like above and beyond hypocritical and just tabloid television. I mean, I saw one segment, a portion of a segment of Jake Tapper, and he was just going on and on about Tiger Woods' divorces, his failed marriage. And I'm like, was she in the car? No, she wasn't in the car, Johnson. So why are we talking about his marriages? They were also talking, some of them is in past tense, like Tiger Woods had passed away. Anything just to hype up the drama. Anything to feed the people that are home watching to continue to watch. What turned out to be just mostly nothing to see here. As the officer pointed out, there was another accident of looky-loos. That's actual people watching, looking where the car wreck was, which caused another accident, which is sort of like what they tried to do on cable media today with this, is make us all looky-loos and make us all bump into each other, meanwhile omitting other stories that also should be covered. So all I'm saying, guys, is this is just a prime example of how petty our news organizations get and how tabloidish they are in nature. Ain't no difference than walking out of the supermarket and those magazines with astronaut makes love with an alien. You know the ones. You try not to look at it. Woman loses 175 pounds in 2 days. Child lifts car overhead. It's the same. They're on the same wavelength, guys. And it's despicable. That's why I got to point it out, guys. Like, independent media is where it's at. So just a brief thing on Tiger Woods. I want people to know Tiger Woods, like, whatever people think about him, I'm not a big golf fan. I don't watch golf. I probably would enjoy playing it better than watching it. I think it's one of those type of sports, but I've done neither, so I'm not here to comment on the sport. But Tiger Woods is a comeback story. This guy's been suffering all types of back issues. Forget his personal life, just the back issues alone. He had like 4 or 5 back surgeries. Then he comes back in 2019 and wins another Masters. Who does that? Like, no one, okay? After being the greatest man that ever played a game, going through all these issues, losing it, not playing well, back issue, comes back and wins the Masters. That's what the story should be. But of course, that's positive. We can't give you positive spins. We can only give you negative spins. Or should I say they can only give you negative spins. So now, also, just yesterday, Tiger Woods, as creepily as they want to report this thing, as if he was doing something crazy. I don't know. He was with his son playing golf, but he was also with Dwayne Wade of the Miami Heat. Soon to be. Is Dwayne Wade a Hall of Fame player yet? I don't know. Here goes a clip of that Dwayne Wade posted on Instagram of hanging out with Tiger Woods yesterday, learning some golf and stuff. Check it out.
I say the GOAT. He's not comfortable with it, but that opportunity to come out here with this guy right here, man. Tiger, thank you for teaching me something. How good am I, or how bad am I?
Good.
I'm not good. I'm sorry for using that.
We're getting better.
We're getting better.
We're getting better.
So everybody be on the lookout. I got some lessons today from what I think is the GOAT, but Tiger Woods. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What I like about that is when, because, you hear somebody built up for so many years, a couple decades, almost 3 decades. And they're not even a person anymore. When you're a celebrity like Tiger Woods, you become this thing. And you don't know the person, you never meet him. Most people never meet him. 99.9% of people that hear about Tiger Woods never meet Tiger Woods. But I never thought he was funny. Like, I thought maybe he had problems with alcohol, problems with painkillers, had a bad marriage, because of all the tabloid stuff. But then you see him there with Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade says, hey, tell the people how good you think I am. And he's like, good? He won't even lie for his friend, Dwayne Wade. He didn't even say, you all right. Just laughed and said, we're working on it. So anyway, I wish Tiger Woods a speedy recovery. I'm not here to judge a person's life 20 years ago. It always gets me. It's like, I wonder what some of you jackasses were like 20 years ago. These people who like to judge other people. What if people put your life under a microscope? Every second of every day, everything you did was news. I wonder how well we would fare. With that, get better soon, Tiger Woods, and speedy recovery. No hate here. Next story. The things people do for views, you know what I'm saying? How do you look through mirrors being this type of person? Speaking of being difficult looking through mirrors, who's this guy? Vilsack. Do I got a Vilsack clip here? I think I do, guys. Here he is, Biden's pick for agriculture. Vilsack. So anyway, this guy got confirmed. Now, there's a lot of reasons why people don't like him and why they thought he was a bad pick, and he still got confirmed today. Sanders voted against him, but he still got confirmed. So, there you go, Johnson. Sanders forced the vote. Vilsack still makes it through. I wonder if people reported on it. Because they say, well, when you don't do what these people say you should do, they go after you. When you do what they want you to do, they don't say anything. They get quiet. Oh, he only did that because he's trying to... It's always these people, man. When are people going to realize there are people that feed off negativity? That's their whole brand. Their brand is negativity. So they always look for something negative and they throw it out at you. And they know that you're upset, they're frustrated. It's a pandemic. People are pulling their hair out of their heads that this is always going to sell. Don't you realize it's just emotional triggers of your anger and frustration. They use it against you just to enrich themselves. They don't want to report it straight. Sanders voted against Biden's pick in agriculture. Sanders joined 6 Republicans in opposing Vilsack, who ran the agency for all 8 years of the Obama administration. So that's rule number one, or reason number one why people don't like Vilsack. Okay? We don't need to go back to the Obama days. No, we don't need to go back to a time like this. We need to move forward. I thought make back better. Make back better means bring back fossils from the dead, these old relics of a time. We need to move beyond. We want a new politics. But if we wanted a new politics, I guess we wouldn't have Joe Biden. So what the hell am I talking about? What do I know? Democratic Party wants to go back in time, jump back in the spaceship, zoom, zam, zoom, go back to 2009, the Great Recession. Oh, that was a great time. No kids were dying in the streets by cops, and everybody was holding hands skipping down the road under Obama. We need to go back to those days. The Senate confirmed Vilsack in a 92-7 vote. Sanders joined GOP Senator Ted Cruz. See, I hate this. I hate it. Who else? Probably Lindsey Graham too, right? Josh Hawley, Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, Rick Scott, and Dan Sullivan. Well, all the people they say are horrible, which most of those are. Yeah, most of them are. Van Sullivan especially. Oh my God. Mama Alaska, is this the guy that gave away all your money in Alaska? The oil profits that are supposed to be dispersed amongst Alaskans. Progressives have pushed back on Vilsack's nomination because they felt he was too aligned with major agricultural corporations. That's number two. That's reason number two. The guy's in the pocket of the corporations. And the farmers have been doing bad enough, long enough, way too long. And one way we want to move the country forward is to protect farmers. And you can't do that with a guy like Vilsack, who's on the dole, Johnson. During his previous stint as the USDA chief, he was cozy with corporations then. He'll probably be cozy with corporations again. Vilsack worked as a lobbyist. Reason number three. He worked as a lobbyist, raised concerns amongst progressives, many of whom wanted restrictions on former lobbyists working in the Biden White House. For good reason, we didn't want former lobbyists because they're too entrenched with corporations. Special interest. Sanders, here goes Sanders speaking on why he opposed the confirmation. I oppose this confirmation today because at a time when corporate consolidation of agriculture is rampant and family farms are being decimated, we need a secretary who's prepared to vigorously take on corporate power in the industry. Vilsack ain't going to do that. He's going to make back bad again. Sanders also went on to say that he'd heard from family farmers in Vermont and around the country who feel that it is not what Tom did when he last served in the job. Yeah, so Tom didn't take on those big interests. He didn't take on the corporations, or big ag is what they call it, big agriculture. So they don't want this guy, like most voters, But see, we don't get a say. Voters don't get a say. Sanders voted against the bill Vilsack had stood behind in 2016, which required the labeling of genetic engineered food, but was less strict than a similar state law in Vermont. So it wasn't so Vilsack wanted a soft version of the bill. Bernie Sanders wanted a more stringent version of the bill. There was one other thing about this. Oh yeah, that's right. Black farmers have been getting hosed. Black farmers have gone out of business at a disproportionate rate, which is all things. All things blacks are way at the bottom. We're always at the top of everything bad and at the bottom of everything good. And as it comes to black farmers losing businesses, losing farms, we're right at the top of that list, Johnson. And Vilsack does not have a track record of helping black farmers. Mr. Vilsack, here goes. Mr. Vilsack had faced particular criticism for the fading fortunes of black farmers who have long complained of discrimination when it comes to land and credit access. He also was at the center of a racial firestorm during the Obama administration. In 2010, he hastily fired Shirley Sherrod, a black agriculture department official, after a conservative blogger released a misleading video clip that appeared to show her admitting antipathy toward a white farmer. He later apologized and tried to rehire her. Yeah, the video was doctored. They put this out to smear this woman. In fact, she was telling actually a very inspirational story, Johnson. Yeah, that video was her actually saying of how, we don't want to work, we're very paranoid of working with certain people. And then when you get to know them and realize, hey, we share these same problems, we can work together. And I was instrumental in this guy who came into my office who was a real jackass at first. Once he realized how much I could help him, and I did help him, we became like that. Now I'm summarizing what took place in that video. But you know what they did, right? They cut it where she was saying, hey, this guy came into my office and he was really difficult to work with. It was this weird white guy who was pissed off. And he needed my help. I didn't need his help. Click. And then she went on to say, but I helped him anyway, and we ended up doing this, and we saved his farm, and we became good friends. See, that's how misleading they could be. And Vilsack didn't mind. He didn't bother to watch the rest of the tape. He just fired her on the word of the critics who ran that story. I think it was Gawker. Which is no longer a news entity. And it shouldn't have been a news entity to begin with. Anyway, Johnson, that's what we have on Vilsack. Has been confirmed. We fought the good fight. All one Democrat of us. You see, I have a hard time believing that the Biden administration is going to push us dramatically forward enough to actually make these gains to build back better. I'm not a fool. I don't believe rhetoric. Show me what you got. And what they're showing me is this. And also, all the Democrats voted for this guy. There's one team, Johnson. Of course, the Republicans too. One team and we ain't in it. We're not on it. And it doesn't count the people. I keep telling people, Bernie Sanders he ain't perfect, but he's better than a lot better. You could do a lot worse than Bernie Sanders being in your corner. I mean, okay. Actions matter, right? Isn't that what you say? That's what they say. That's what they say. That's what they're supposed to say, I guess. Okay, so today was the anniversary of Ahmaud Arbery's murder. How many people remember Ahmaud Arbery? That's this young man. That's a 25-year-old black man in Georgia, Glenn County, Georgia, who was jogging. And it said, oh, what's this guy doing jogging in our neighborhood? Well, his mother lives a couple blocks over. He's an athlete. He was an athlete. He enjoyed jogging. He jogged, and that was it. Because you can't jog around our town and look at empty apartments or homes where no one's there that other people look at. We got to defend ourselves from the evil, evil black jogger. So today, his mom filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against several people involved in the killing or the subsequent misinvestigation. I wouldn't even want to call this an investigation, a misinvestigation. Now, you remember the jackasses that killed, who lynched Ahmaud Arbery, right? Just in case you don't remember. It's been a while. It's been a year. Take a gander at these handsome young guys. The McMichaels, father and son, and this guy Brian something. William Roddy Bryan. So we got Gregory and Travis, father and son, as well as William Roddy Bryan. All of them facing felony murder charges in connection with the slaying, lynching of Ahmaud Arbery. And you're damn right I said lynching, Johnson. What a lot of people don't also know is that this lawsuit includes law enforcement officers who covered up the truth of what happened that day. Do you realize that for 10 weeks, Ahmaud Arbery's mother and her family and friends all thought this thing went down totally different than it went down? You realize that footage that we ended up getting? They didn't know that existed. They were told a totally radically different story about what caused the death of Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah. The complaint lists 14 actions, including excessive force, failure to prevent harm, and willful and wanton misconduct. It says the defendants were motivated to deprive Ahmaud Arbery of equal protection of the law, his rights by racial bias, animus, discrimination. According to the lawsuit, the only reason the McMichaels and Bryan began the pursuit of Arbery is because he was a black man. The federal suit was filed the same day members of Arbery's family are scheduled to hold a public memorial at the new Springfield Baptist Church, where he was buried. So today, that's what they did, Dave. You know, the worst thing about this is that the people that, sometimes I don't know, people just ignorant. No, I got to imagine some people are ignorant. They watch like Fox News or Newsmax or some other crap like that, and they actually believe that some blonde-headed, blue-eyed white guy jogging in his joggers, whatever, they would think, oh my God, this guy's breaking in something. We need to track him down. Hey, you get in the truck, let's bring our gun and stop him. They think they would do that to some 25-year-old looking white kid just jogging with his Walkman on. For some reason, they don't realize that their bias is what causes to happen to begin with. No crazy call of anybody breaking in the home. He wasn't carrying anything from the work site of the unfinished home. There was nothing there to take. There was nothing. But it's the most frustrating thing in the world, the people that defend it. So, of course, we have some people who are ignorant just because they get lack of information. They don't watch the Tim Black Show. They watch that garbage news, and then they believe fallacies and fantasies by bigots who want to spin a narrative a certain way. And then we have the actual bigots who know damn well Ahmaud Arbery wasn't doing anything wrong other than, I don't know, being black and jogging. And those are the ones we despise the most. So, guys, there's implicit bias and there's explicit bias. Implicit bias is bias you might not even know you have. Like being worried about a black guy for some strange reason, having a funny feeling. Even when he's giving you really no grounds for it, and you wouldn't feel that way about a white person in the same situation. But because you're not in that same situation, you don't have time to determine if it's you or if it's them. And then we have explicit bias. Those are the drooling, mouth-breathing types who know damn well what they're doing, who use the N-word. Say, what the hell is he doing in our neighborhood? Get that N-word out of here. That's the other kind of racism. Both are detrimental. Now, I don't know which one these guys had, the McMichaels and Mr. Bryan, but either way, Ahmaud Arbery is dead. Due to the pandemic, due to what's going on with COVID-19, there has not been a trial date set. All three men have been charged with murder. We'll see how it shapes out. Of course, I will update you when that information becomes available. One more story before we go to phone calls. Just to underscore the whole theory, or the theme of the running thing we have here of implicit and explicit bias. Something happened in Plano, Texas with a teenager walking home from his Walmart job. You know, that essential worker job that we're all supposed to respect, those essential workers. Well, this teenager's walking home from his essential worker job, being a hero and all, and some officers thought he looks suspicious because he's walking home and doesn't have a car. How could you not have a car? He works at Walmart. You barely have enough. You work at Walmart, you barely have enough to afford food. You know how many Walmart workers have food stamps, need food stamps, qualify for food stamps? You don't get food stamps if you make a certain amount of money. Do you realize how many Walmart workers need government assistance to even make it, to live indoors? And then you're so surprised, you can't believe that this young man works at Walmart and is walking? Anyway, guys, here goes the clip from the Plano, Texas Police Department Facebook group. It is what it is.
Incident updated.
Dude, stop. We're trying to help you.
Whoop. Hey, man. Whoop. You trying to get home? Are you trying to get home? You sure? You need a ride somewhere? Hey, look, we just want to make sure you're all right. We just want to make sure you're all right.
Come here.
Hold on, I have to stop it there for 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. Because there's going to be inevitably some people that don't understand this. When cops say they're trying to help you, they're not trying to help you, Johnson. No, cops, when they say they're trying to help you, hey, you need some help? And you say, no, I'm good, thank you. They keep going. I mean, I've had cops try to help me before. Okay? When a cop says, hey, need some help? And you say no, they say, okay, bye. They don't say, hey, let us help you. We have to help you. It's our job to help you. We got to get out and help you. We must help you. You got to take our help. You need our help. Man, we got to give you this help. When the cops say, when cops force you to be helped, anybody, all they're trying to do is get information on you to assist them in an arrest. That's why they're doing it. This young man did the right thing, and then you greenbacks who are so green, so new, who don't understand how this works, anything you tell a cop can be used against you in a court of law. This young man was in his rights to keep walking. Now, I'm going to continue to play this tape, but I had to jump in here a second. So you can wipe that from your psyche right now. When the officers stop me, as I'm minding my own business, I have every right to say, leave me alone. I'm going about my business. I've done nothing. Everyone has that right. You have that right. I have that right. Let's keep going.
Bro?
You're all right.
Bro, I'm good. Come here.
Sir, you need to talk to us, okay? Sir,
I'm good, bro.
can you calm down? All right? Sir.
Don't touch me.
Sir, look, we just want to talk to you.
All
right?
Good. I'm on the way home. I'm straight.
Okay.
Where the fuck I'm going?
Okay, but you're walking in the middle of the road.
I understand that. My bad. I'm not in the Hold on.
We just trying to figure out where you're going.
Home. I just said that. Oh, you okay, dude?
Watch out, man.
Where's home at?
Do you want us to just give you a ride?
No, I'm good. I do this every night, literally. I'm straight.
Okay. You ain't cold or nothing?
No.
With that cheap shirt on?
I said that. I'm good.
What's your name, man?
Man,
Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know? Can you just stop and talk to us for a minute?
Bro.
Do you mind? Do you mind just talking to us for a minute? Just talk to us for a minute.
doing?
Just talk to us for a minute.
I ain't gonna put my hand on a female. Please don't touch me.
Okay.
Though.
I'm just trying to
Don't
get
touch
your attention, okay? We're just trying to make sure you're
Ma'am,
okay.
don't touch
We're trying to
me.
make sure you're okay. We're trying to make sure. Sir.
No, what?
We're trying.
No, what?
We're doing an investigation.
I don't care. I'm going home.
You are officially detained.
No.
Yes,
Sir.
yes you are.
Bro,
Stop.
stop.
Just relax.
Just relax, all right?
Just relax.
We're just trying to talk
But
to
I
you.
got an anger problem. Please get off me. No.
Stop.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch you.
Yeah, you didn't stop. Put your hands behind your back now. You are not free to go.
Wow.
The next thing you do is going to be get a charge right now.
For what?
Because you're pushing on an officer.
I'm not pushing. How am I pushing on you?
You're actually resisting, dude. It's resisting arrest or detention. Give us the channel.
Please just let me go.
No.
My house is literally right there.
Can you just tell us the address?
Wait.
Put a cuff on.
I'm trying to.
Please just let me go.
Wow, you're really making this worse right now.
We're trying
Honestly.
to do that.
Okay, he's about to.
All right.
It's not back here.
This is why I did.
Dude, just stop.
Stop
resisting.
Just let me go. Let me go.
Stop.
Let me go.
Stop resisting.
Bro, fuck that. Bro, just let me go.
Relax.
Bro.
Give us.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You got me fucked up.
Get on the ground, dude. Just get on the ground and stop resisting.
You want me to get on this snow after y'all was worried about me?
Let's just stop it right there, Johnson, because I think that's enough. There's another 5 minutes of this. He is taken to jail. Yeah, because they're just trying to help him out, you know. No weapons, committed no crime. He just wouldn't listen to him because, well, he was going on his way home. He hadn't done anything. He walked across the street. In fact, that's what they charged him with. Now they dropped the charges, but here go the charges. Police dropped charges against the black teenager after he was arrested last week while walking home amid a winter storm. They were called to perform a welfare check on a high school senior, Rodney Reese, after he was seen walking in a short-sleeved shirt with no jacket in freezing temperatures. I wonder who called the police about the teenager walking down the street. Karen. How many guys want to guess it was Karen? Body camera footage released by police in Plano shows the incident quickly escalated after Reese refused to stop and talk to officers. The teenager seen apologizing for walking in the road, but first struggling against police officers while being handcuffed. He was taken into custody and held overnight in jail on a misdemeanor charge of, you guessed it, a pedestrian in the roadway. Yeah, because he was walking in the road. Okay, so the Plano police chief said in Monday's statement that the charges were dropped because our officers were on a welfare call, and the arrest wasn't consistent with the reasons officers were there. Now, the charges should be dropped because you guys are assholes, and he should sue you. The chief also initiated an administrative inquiry to evaluate our policies and procedures to see if there needs to be any policy adjustments. Oh, you mean like not try to trick people into giving you more information so you can arrest them, and even when they haven't done anything other than not want you to harass them, you lock them up anyway. They didn't find anything on this kid. And you know they searched him, Johnson. They found nothing on this kid. He's coming home from work. In fact, listen to what Reese said the next day during the press conference. Reese said during a Monday press conference that he did not stop to talk to the officers as he was walking home from his job at an area Walmart because he wanted to go home. That's it. I just want to go home, man. I had to work a double shift because other people didn't come into work because it was a snowstorm. They asked me to stay. That's why I'm in a dumb t-shirt. Now, you shouldn't have been wearing that t-shirt, man. You get hypothermia out there. But you know how kids are. They're invincible. Except for cops. He probably rang up groceries for some of those officers, wives or family that night. He stayed over late because there were so many people that called into work that day. Because the roads were so bad. They asked him, can you stay over to help us to get the store ready for the next day? And he said, I'll do it. I bet you won't do it again, Johnson. Because Karens lurk everywhere. And you know how mysterious a person walking down the street looks. This is what I'm telling you. In the summer, Ahmaud Arbery was jogging. In the winter, this kid is walking home. And it always results, well, not always. Nothing always results. But this results in a similar situation. I'm glad they didn't say, he's going for my gun. That's all it would have took. And some people watching this video right now, not my people, of course, some newcomers who don't really belong to my show would say, oh man, that's what he gets, he's going for the gun. They wouldn't need to see evidence of it. All the cop would have to do is say, he's going for my gun. And you believe it. Because you believe everything law enforcement says. His mom went on to say, it just kills me. I'm disturbed inside to know that my child who's big, this is my child. This is my baby. He's big, but this is my baby. And to see him being arrested, violated the way he was, I moved to Plano for a reason. And that reason backfired on me. So let me get this right. Plano's a place where, it's a little bit more upscale. Trying to get away from the violence. And probably a little bit more, less populated with black folks, right? Let's just keep it 100. Less black people around. When white people see black people that they don't know, or just black people in general, when in the neighborhood, they don't kind of expect to see them, they get antsy. They got to call the police. They got to do a Karen wellness check, which results in problems like this where cops go, hey, what's this black kid doing around here? The young man says, the reason why, there was a comment here he made, guys. I want to find that. He said, that's why a young black man like me, this is a young kid, the 18-year-old talking now, Reese. He says, that's why a young black man like me, we're scared of the police because they kill and arrest us. That's why I didn't want to answer a question. That's it, Johnson. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. Phone number's on the screen. 90 seconds, Johnson. Wolfpack. Let me ask you. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Yes. We are back in the house, Johnsons. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. I'm going to go to first caller in the queue, 319-527-6212. First call is a 240 number. 240, you are live. T-Bay Tuesdays. Who's this?
This is Renee. Tim, how you doing?
Hey, Renee, what's going on, Renee? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Talk to me, Renee.
So, I actually tweeted you a lot. I don't know how many of them you actually get, but I'm glad the story that you did is the one that you did before you took my call. Because when I signed up to start volunteering for all these progressive organizations, it's always because of my 10-year-old, right? Because I don't want him doing what this young man just had to go through. I don't want him living through what my brother had to live through. I don't want him living through what my cousins had to live through. So I kept signing up for these organizations, and each one has failed me. And I'm really about over it. So the last thing that I sent to you was actually a statement written by the Black Voters Circle, who is now the ex-Black Voters Circle for Movement for a People's Party. And I don't know if you had a chance to see the statement, but I would really encourage you and your listeners to read it so that everyone can understand what happened to a really strong, like, we were ready to work group for a People's Party, and they completely wet the bed, and they're just brutal, and they're not about anything. And They booted Black people out after we were fighting on Slack because white people thought the N-word was okay. And they were defending their use of the N-word. And the Black people who fought about it all got booted out of the Slack channel. I got booted out of the Slack channel because of an abundance of caution, as I was told. They booted me even though I was running the New York hub, coordinating all the work, doing all the calls, scheduling everything, using my husband's Zoom so that we didn't have to use, because they didn't have a Zoom for us to use through MPP. It's a tragedy because, you sign up with these orgs, and like I said, I do it for my son because I'm trying to make a difference. And to realize that they're just not about anything. Like, it's just one disappointment after another because they're not real. They're not trying to make change. They're not trying to help people make change. I don't know what Nick Branna's up to, but it is definitely not trying to fix anything that they claim they're going to be fixing by starting the People's Party. And I had tweeted at you because I was pissed when I got my People's Party shirt and your name wasn't on it. I was like, what the hell? I know Tim Black spoke at the convention. Where'd his name go? How is Rose McGowan on here when she didn't speak on the convention? And I should have known then that something wasn't right. And it's just been a slow circle downhill of nonsense. And now, a group of us got together. There was a petition. We were trying to get bylaws, trying to get them to, have elected officials, trying to get them to make sure they were taking care of their people, make sure they had correct documentation, make sure they were proving what they were doing with their money, like all reasonable things that you would think an organization that is built for the people would be willing to do for their people. And we all ended up getting booted out. I can't even, there's so much to the story. You'd have to take up a whole hour to go through all the documentation that we pulled. But we've been labeled infiltrators. We're trying to just destroy MPP. Jackson Hinkle is on his show with Annalise Garcia talking about people just telling absolute lies. Nick Branna's on Lee Camp telling absolute lies. It's just sickening and disheartening. And, I'm going to tweet it at you again, this document, so that you can see it. It's long. I'll give you a heads up. It's long, but it's because it comes with receipts. There is nothing that we say in our statement that we cannot back up with a screenshot or a picture or something to prove that what we're saying happened. And I need people to know that this is what's going on behind the curtain there.
Well, Renee, I want to thank you for calling into the show to express what you've been experiencing and what's been happening and give people the heads up. I do want to ask you one question, and that is, do you think maybe it's possible you guys were brought together, you folks who are fighting for these issues, who strongly believe some changes need to be made, maybe you're brought together not to join this organization, but to begin your own organization?
Well, you'll be happy to know that's exactly what we decided to do. So there's actually a group of us who are working right now to try and figure out the best way forward, looking at local organizing, supporting communities, figuring out how to start things from the ground level up versus this thing that NPP is doing from the top down. So we're working on it. I actually got invited to start a PAC with somebody. We're naming the PAC Stopping White Supremacy, so they'll tell you everything that we're about. But that's the goal. Where I'm not participating in anything else that I am not on the ground floor to start building. No more, because I'm done with this. I'm tired of white people co-opting, and it ends up being a disaster every single time. I can't do it anymore.
Well, I'm breaking my own rule. I will say this, because I mean this so sincerely. I feel so much better about assisting you in building something new that you can set the terms and the ideology going in. I feel better supporting something as opposed to not supporting something and making content against something. So I'd much rather be a help. I'd like to help you guys build up your new organization. Any way I can help do that, I'm there for that.
Sounds good. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it a lot.
Okay, but my door is open. I want to thank you. Give it up for Renee, y'all, and understand that Renee and Joy, who used to moderate on my Facebook group, she's been telling me what's been going on. I've been reluctant to get involved only because I have not done all the research on this, all the vetting. I've been burnt before, kind of jumping in, trying to do the right thing when I think's the right thing, and people say, Tim, this is the right thing, and then I find out later, maybe I should have looked both ways, did a little bit more vetting. So I'm reluctant to get involved in things unless I can vet them out, and you know how much time I have. But I don't need to vet a new organization of people that are doing, that set off to do good work. I just know what's going on, and I can vouch for that. Anyway. But I did say this just Friday, Renee, and to the people of all the folks formerly in the NPP, there's really, if anything she says here is true, that's totally unacceptable. Like no one gets an N-word pass. This thing, what are you, Eminem now? Like Eminem don't even get an N-word pass. Who are these people that think they get an N-word pass? And if we can't, I would look at it like it was a gift to find out so early. That way you can not waste your time. You don't need to go any further. You cut your losses early. Believe me, cutting losses early is helpful. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there just because I don't know enough to comment on this particular. This is why I'm always hesitant to join stuff. That's all I'm saying. And not that. That's why I'm always hesitant, because I never know who I'm joining. People want to use my likeness to do stuff sometimes. People want to use my name. They want me to be their black friend. And in this case, they got a lot of, they got the J Prime guy, they got Brianna. They're good. They don't need, so I haven't vetted them out. I'm not included in anything. I spoke at their event because of a past relationship with Nick Bronner, and I support new parties. I just do. Instinctively, I support new parties. I'm an independent. But that doesn't mean I'm vouching for what's going on behind the scenes or how they're running it and the ideology of every, I don't know. It's unfortunate, folks, that Dr. Cornel West's names are being used if this is the case. I mean, I respect the hell out of Dr. Cornel West. And let me shut up and go to the next call. See, I'm rambling now. I don't need to ramble. Because then it'll just be a firestorm. And they'll say, Tim was down-talking us. He was dragging us. So anyway. Once again, give it up for Renee and give it up for the it's a painful thing when you think you got allies and you don't. That's a painful thing, guys. And a lot of you I don't know if you've experienced it. I'm just telling you, it's pretty painful to think you got people that got your back and people you think are allies, and then they betray you. It's a painful thing. And people say, why don't you just move on? Sometimes it's very difficult to just get past that. Because there's principalities in this. There's got to be repercussions in it. And then there's awareness, and then there's a lot. So anyway, 352, you're live. TB Tuesdays, what's your name? What's your comment, 352?
Hey, Tim, it's Gary down in Gainesville.
Hey, what's up, Gary?
Hey, bro. Hanging in there with you. Been a long year, so what do we want to talk about tonight? What do we want? I want to do, this is your life, Tim. And
all right, Gary. Hold on a second, Gary. You're my guy, Gary. We got to have a comment when we call up, bruh. So, there's a lot in the news cycle we talked about on the show, and I'm hoping you can add to that conversation. There's a lot going on. Today was the anniversary of the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. We talked about that. We talked about Vilsack and the agriculture. He just got confirmed as Biden's pick for Secretary of Agriculture. He's a corporate piece of crap. He's a Monsanto guy. And he ain't going to help the farmers. Not saying that Trump did much more for them. In fact, Trump made life much more difficult for them by getting into these farm wars, which hampered farmers. That hurt farmers more than anything else. So that's what we've been talking about, Gary. But I don't know if you're aware of any of those topics, but that's what we kind of opened on. So, Gary, what's up, buddy? What's that?
All right. You there?
Yeah.
You there?
Yes, we're here.
All right. So, okay, the Monsanto thing and a couple of those other things. But you know what, bro? Your show is, you're relating to the black cause because that's what you represent. I'm telling you right now, I'm living in a neighborhood, probably 80% of brothers and sisters, 20% white. I'm really getting tired of being a white person. I see the white fucking guys around here. I'm like, bro, maybe I got to calm down. Don't let your emotions get away from you. But you know what? It gets old after a while. It gets old when you start seeing some of these thoughts processes that are in, I'm not going to say all white people because then I'd be no better. But I do see that. I see that it's been passed down through generations, and it seems like it's going to take generations for, I'm hoping, because I live next to the University of Florida, and when I go to the school and I see the kids hanging out, they're hanging out together in all different groups, all different colors, races, religions. University of Florida got people coming from all around the world. They got people coming from India, from China, from Russia, and the kids are growing up, I think, in a different atmosphere than we grew up back in the 50s and 60s. So I won't be alive to see it, but I'm going to hold out hope that down the road this ship will turn. You can't turn the Titanic around maybe on a dime. It seems easy to us, right? It seems like common sense. Why don't people just get this right? But maybe we're trying to turn such a big thing around on a dime. We got to keep turning it. There ain't no difference about it. But I'm wondering if it's going to happen quick. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I think it's been gradual changes, and I'm trying to hold out hope that it's going to get better. But you know what? Sometimes when you think it's getting better, you feel like, wow, what are we, right back where we were 100 years ago, Tim? Sometimes you look back and you're like, I thought we were past a lot of this stuff. And then you see these stupid stories about things that you're like, oh, that sounds like, what the hell are they messing with the brother walking down the street because he had a T-shirt on in the winter? Maybe he was hot. He just got off work. I mean, but that's not a reason to be followed. I thought that was a female cop that was following him in the video. I was like, I would have felt like she's stalking me. I was like, there was nothing. There was no reason for that. Anyway, I don't want to get too emotional over that. But anyway,
I got you, man.
So to try to keep it more logical and keep it more on point, because I know I'm trying to watch the clock on the microwave so I don't freaking run over. So anyway, but there's so much to talk about. And you know what? You are the kind of guy that, man, if we had a night at the bar, I could sit and talk to you for 8 hours. There's some people you can talk to for like half an hour. You're like, okay, that's good. I got everything where you're coming from. But you're the kind of man that's got so much, all right? You're the kind of man that I can listen to and go back and forth with all night and never really repeat each other. Keep moving along on a topic and going forward and getting to the point. So the thing that's bothering me the most now, the thing that's, I guess, that we could talk about a little bit is that it seems like they're still all over this Trump thing, and the corporate media is never going to learn. The people are not going to learn. They're pumping up about Trump. I'm like, guys, he's gone. There's a lot. The 14th of March is coming. March 14th is coming, and that means the unemployment runs out. The eviction notices run out. A lot of stuff runs out, and it's going to hit the fan. And it's like people are like trying to avoid it. Like it's, well, if we don't talk about it, it's not going to happen. It's coming. But nobody wants to talk about events, and they're going to wait to the last minute to talk about it. It's coming. I got people right here that is, like I told you before, I got people around here right now. They've been dying for this check that they've been like dangling like a carrot in front of people for 2 months now.
Right.
All right? Like a carrot. And these people are like, come on, I'm starving here. I'm dying. Will you guys just get this done? Just put the stimulus check. The stimulus check. It's such a bad word, like it stimulates anything. Give a relief check. Just give a little relief because it's not going to stimulate much. It's just a little relief. But give a relief check to the people already. So, I mean, it's coming. And you know, I guess they're going to wait till, like, it's like, you know, the intersection you see where, like, you're like, there's going to be an accident. Nobody puts a light up. And you know when they put the light up? When there's an accident. You know, it's like it's this, all right? It's always that way. It takes a disaster for somebody to do something when it didn't have to take a disaster. Why did someone have to die at that intersection that everybody saw was bad? Well, that's the way it is. Until someone gets killed, we can't put a light up.
That's right, brother.
Are you kidding me? That seems to be our mentality.
I feel you,
all right,
brother.
bro.
Hey, thank you, Gary. I got to leave it there, man. But you finished strong, man. I know it's hard to follow when we're talking about race and you got to come in. It's difficult, man. But I think you did a decent job trying to regroup and get your legs under you on that. Let me just tell you, man, and this I have to say, white supremacy is not strictly a U.S. thing. All right, this is white supremacy all over the world. You know what I mean? And you could come into America, and even if you weren't, there was no such thing as racism from these other countries. Folks come to the University of Florida too, you know, come with their own baggage. Even if they came with none of that, you're gonna learn it in the United States. You're gonna learn who has the power. You're gonna learn all the bad stereotypes. You're gonna get up to speed on it, man. This is the problem, and this type of crap affects us all, Johnson. It affects black people too. It affects white people, black people, Native American, Asians, everybody, all of us. If you got a post, you're impacted by the environment. You're impacted by it. You can't be in a room, and you can't be in a room and say you don't feel the heat. If the heat's on and you're in the room, everybody gets the heat. It don't just go to one person and the other person next to them unless they have an immune, situation. Unless they got hot flashes or cold flashes, I don't know. But you get what I'm saying. So this funk of racism, right, and white supremacy, this stuff, it just floats, man. It goes into everyone. Okay, but I feel you, man. And look, let me tell you this. Let me briefly comment on this relief check. And I agree with you, Gary. It ain't so stimulating. But if they don't get these relief checks out soon, by March, like they said they would, I think we better all brace ourselves for something much worse than that January 6th nonsense we saw up to the U.S. Capitol. Guys, I'm telling you, I think people are at a boiling point, at a serious boiling point, and what you would see coming from these cities, people hardly hit so hard by the current conditions, loss of jobs, loss of health care, frustration, anxiety, trepidation, don't know what the next day is going to bring. Folks, I'm trying to tell you, it'll make that U.S. Capitol insurrection, the rioters, look like a walk in the park, like a field trip. What's in store for the rest of it? So they can play games if they want to. Joe Biden can get lost in the mall if he wanna. But they gotta cut the check, Johnson. All right, so I'm going next call, guys. We all good. I had a 614. This 614 number's gone. That's okay. I know how it gets. 573, you're live. TB Tuesdays. What's your name? What's your comment?
What up, Jim? It's Luke Gang, man.
Hey, what's up? What's up, fam? How you doing?
I was calling. Oh no, this Luke Gang.
All right.
I was calling about a few things I saw out there today. One of them being I saw a tweet earlier from Dr. Julie. There's an LA Times story going around about gentrification of these COVID vaccinations, where wealthy white people are stealing vaccine appointments that were specifically supposed to be set aside for, the hardest hit Black and brown communities in California. So it's just one of those, just another example of how just racism showing its rearing its ugly head even in this pandemic vaccine rollout. I'm wondering where is Biden on that? You know, everybody said when Biden came in, it was all good because we had somebody who was going to listen to the science now. But all that mess seemed to go out the window because it's still onward with reopening. I mean, everybody who I talk to in different state to state, everybody out already. You know, people been out. Like the pandemic was just over with because because they were over it, they felt like it was over. I'm like, well, all right, they still talking about having the damn All-Star game, fam. Like, they still talking about the All-Star game in Atlanta. Like, what talking about, I mean, we can maybe have like 2,500 people. So, okay, so it's just, all right, if you got enough money, just forget all that, all the social distancing, all the public health interventions, forget all of that. And then I saw something else earlier. Basically, they're trying to make it harder to vote by mail-in ballot in Georgia. The Georgia Senate, they voted to require ID for absentee voting instead of just the signature and registration information that it used to require. So I believe they approved that today. So I think it goes to the state house next. So they're trying to. They know they can't win straight races anymore, so they got to cheat. So the fix is already in. They're already working on it. But the Bidens of the world make it easy for these people, though, because Biden is such a middling, mediocre mofo that it's just like, I can see how some people can still just be like, oh, well, there's really no difference in the parties. Yeah, there are incremental differences, like, as from a straight-up political science standpoint, yeah, there are differences, but when it comes down to delivering for the people, one going to deliver for you, and just make it clear they ain't going to deliver for you, and the other one's going to tell you they ain't going to deliver for you, and stab you in the back, piss on your shoes, slap your mama, this, that, and the third. Like, they realize Joe Biden is really out here being disrespectful, gaslighting the hell out of the American people. Like, oh, well, if you really paying attention, what I said was 1,400 plus 600. Hey, bro, I could hear. Like, we all got tapes. We all got tapes and audio of what you all said. We got you, Warnock, also all y'all said what you said. Quit trying to play us, run the money. And while we at it, run that reparations. Like, I heard Biden will have an endorsement of H.R. 40, which, for the record, I'm glad that we do have H.R. 40 actually being given a hearing. It was still gross to see that mainstream media failed to cover it or even address it. And the fact that the farthest of the ball has been moved on reparations to date is just that we can get a commission to create a committee to create a study to make policy recommendations. Anybody who knows the inner workings of that's years. Like that ain't nothing that's gonna be. That means that we might get a policy recommendation on reparations from that panel. 2022, by the time they had already messed everything up. Just in time for them to lose the House and the Senate back to Republicans, so they can say, oh, yeah, we can't give reparations now. You know, we had this good study, and we came up with a policy recommendation. Back in far, so we can't do nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's really, it's like what Kim said best. Democrats don't know how to hold their nuts.
There it is, brother.
Point blank, period. It's like, that's what it is. All right, I don't want to take up too much time. Thanks for letting me call in.
You got it, brother. Man, give it up for Luke, man. Luke Kang, man. And Luke Kang, man, fix that mic, man. What's going on with that mic, brother? You just got a deep voice, man, like baritone. Like, that's where I'm supposed to be. Like, right here when I talk, I'm supposed to be, like, down here with it. And I just go higher. But you, whatever was going on with your phone, bro. But I got most of it, though. I got most of it, fam. So, basically, the H.R. 40 hearing is just a travesty in order to... It's not even kicking the ball down the field. You know that term they say, you want to kick the ball down the field? Kick the can down. The H.R. 40 supposed hearings is a plan to kick the ball by kicking the ball down the field. Like, it's like 3 steps behind kicking the ball down the field. And when you got a mealy-mouthed milquetoast, mayonnaise melt, moderate, mediocre moron like Joe Biden at the helm, what can you expect? That's a lot of M's, Johnson. That's a lot of M's. So, yeah, I'm going to go to the next call, Luke Kang, but thank you for calling up. I appreciate you. We got a 310 number in the queue. 310, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Smart Sister. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Smart Sister? How you doing? It's been a minute. Welcome back to the show. Holla.
I know. Honey, it's always something. Well, thank you for the coverage you did today. It really hit me hard about Ahmaud Arbery. His sister is my sorority sister, and so you know Nina Turner is too. You know, it just kills me. Here we are a year later, ain't shit happened, and then Miss Harris gonna send out a tweet today. What? WTF? What the fuck is a tweet? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's putting no pressure on nobody to do nothing. And these three bozos sitting up in there, ain't nothing happening to them either. You know, and that's what pisses me off about all the people that have supported Biden and Harris. They talking trash, talking loud and saying nothing. You already know that song. You know what I mean? And everybody, well, what can they do? Don't even get me started, because she can lock your ass up out here in California. And that brother was telling the truth. A friend of mine told me that's how he got his shot quicker, what it is happening in the black neighborhoods, because a lot of us, I'm not taking it, but they are. Other folks from other communities are coming in the black and brown community to get the shot, because they know they figure a lot of people aren't showing up or aren't there or whatever, so they come and get the shot. Well, they can have it as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not taking that shit ever, probably. But let's see if you're gonna be okay a year from now. And even with that, it's going to mutate and you're going to need something else. Why do you think they ain't never had a shot or anything for the common cold? People are insane. And then they're saying in California that infection rates have dropped 91%. Now, what is? Are people getting it? And it's not because of the shot, because it hasn't been out that long. So wait a minute. All this stuff is so convoluted. My thing is, eat you some green vegetables, get your own immune system up, and keep it pushing. That's what I'm doing. Okay? And I'm like, I'm tired. I'm like Stevie Wonder. He getting ready to bounce and go live in Ghana. Ghana is giving black people dual citizenship. That's what I'm talking about. I'm about to bounce. I cannot, just the constant fight, the constant pressure, the constant everything of being here is about it for me. And I don't blame that brother. People talking about, well, it's Stevie Wonder. What is that saying? It's saying that it doesn't matter what your economic status is as a black man in America, as a black female in America. It's so much bullshit that you have to put up with. Who you don't have to. That's the thing. That's the thing. Everything we do, every microaggression, everything we go through is a constant battle. And sometimes it's just so damn exhausting that you have to go. And if I hear one more person talk about, well, we got to deal with it, and that's either black or white, I'm man, I'm about to catch a case. So that's all I got. I'm just, but I still have hope. That's the one thing. If you like-minded people like us, if we keep sticking together, there are things that can happen, because God is still on the throne as far as I'm concerned. So it ain't over till it's over. And all you can do, you get a little weary, but you just have to let it go, pick your stuff back up, and keep fighting, because it's the fat lady about to sing. I really truly feel like that, because this is the age of Aquarius. Remember that song from the Fifth Dimension?
I remember that song.
Remember, age of Aquarius. Aquarius, this age is supposed to be enlightenment. I'll have to send you some stuff, but in the pyramids, 26,000 years worth of history is there. And basically all the zodiac signs that we know of, it is a different area, a period of time in human history. And that's why now we're in the age of Aquarius. That's supposed to be, knowledge and enlightenment. And I believe that, because if anything, since everybody want to put everything on Trump, which is crazy, all he did was held the mirror up to this country. So now everybody's seeing everybody's bullshit, okay? And either you gonna doo-doo or get off the pot in the story. So all the I didn't know and I'm sorry and that's got to go. It's time to do what you got to do.
Okay,
so that's it.
Well, thank you, smart sister, for calling up.
Have a good night.
It's always a pleasure to hear from the smart sister in the house, y'all. Smart sister, give it up for her. And two things. One thing is, sometimes it's better just to say shit. Because when you say doo-doo, I actually envision that. The other thing, sometimes it's better just to say the words you think. Okay, but I love the point that she made. A couple of things about Yvonne's comment that I got to give her props on is when she said people are going, okay, they're talking about Ahmaud Arbery's, the anniversary of his slaying, right? And how he said Kamala Harris sent out a tweet, and what good is a tweet? What good is a tweet? Well, you're right. What good is a tweet? Because we could tweet about it. Hell, I tweet. You're in a position to actually do more than tweet, Kamala. So I get Yvonne's point. It's a catch-22, because if you don't comment on it, there are people who love Twitter so much, they'll be like, she didn't even tweet about it. So it's a catch-22. But the point that Yvonne hit that must be crystallized is they can no longer say, what can we do about it? Oh, what can we do about it? Oh, what can we do? Oh, I know Biden and Harris want to do something, but what could they do about it? Oh, Tim, you're being too hard on them. What could they do? This happened in the state. What do you expect him to do? See, all that's gone out the window because we done had Donald Trump. And Donald Trump didn't worry about what can he do about it. He showed you what you do about it. You talk about it publicly and you shame people. You pound them on Twitter. You pound them on social. From the bully pulpit of the United States, of the President of the United States, you pound those in opposition to your ideas and you put them on front and center. You can't come with that mealy-mouth BS about what can Joe Biden do, what can Kamala do. No, see, this is the real reason why they hated Donald Trump. Donald Trump exposed what you could do on the state level. Donald Trump still has governors afraid. Why do you think he didn't get impeached? He still got them shook in the Senate, and he's out of power. Joe Biden holds the same power, but he will not use it to help you. Instead, he works the other way. He uses his power to make them stand down from helping us, to keep them silent. Get it? So no more can people come at us with that nonsense about what can Joe Biden and Kamala do. No more of that state crap. Donald Trump cleared the decks on that. You can't hide behind that no more. He used social. He showed what you could do. He didn't even have to hold press conferences to move public sentiment, to move the public narrative. No more. He moved the public narrative so badly, so well, we got an insurrection, didn't we? Didn't we just see that? Don't give me that crap like, oh, that Biden couldn't influence policing around this country just by using his bully pulpit. So anyway, thank you, Yvonne, for that. Sister, smart sister, I'm sorry. I know her real name because that's my sister. Was it something else she said? Ghana. Steve, you want to talk about moving to Ghana for real? I might have to look into that, Johnson. Hell, I do my show on the internet already. Come on, Johnson. Does it matter? I could do this show from anywhere. Ghana, the Bahamas, your mamas. I could be anywhere doing this show. And what is it going to look like if Stevie Wonder leaves the United States? It's going to look like what it is. A hellhole. A doo-doo hole. See what I'm saying? Get my point about earlier? Nah, that's, and once again, smart sister, you on the road tonight, sister. Look, call every couple of weeks. That way you're loaded up with ammunition. You know what I'm saying? This call was off the charts because now I think about it, you're absolutely right. Stevie Wonder is one of the most popular, not only black people, but people in the United States. And he's afraid. And he worried about his rights being overstepped. And he's talking about his peace of mind. And he's rich. Really rich. And he don't even drive. You can't even get Stevie Wonder for driving while black. And he still don't feel safe enough to be here. Hello? Hello, somebody? Made me feel like, what the hell am I doing? What's wrong with me? Why I'm not reading the memo? They sent me the memo. I'm too hard-headed to read it. Why you not getting the message, Tim Black? Power up your phone, Tim Black. We sent you the message. What message more you need? Get your kids and go, Johnson. All right. I got a call in the queue. 409, you're next. 409, what's your name? What's your comment?
Damn, I just keep landing on there, huh?
Hey, what's going on there?
What's going on, Mr. Johnson?
Who's this?
Gator Man dude out of Southeast Texas.
Okay.
You know?
That's it. You in Texas, brother? How you doing, man? You okay over there in Texas, brother? Southeast Texas?
Man, yes, sir, man. I was one of the fortunate peoples, man. We didn't lose too much on this end, but I know as people suffering, I feel bad for them, you know.
Got you, brother. I'm glad to hear
But
it.
I just wanted to call in, man. Once as always, I'm enjoying yourself, you know. You do what you do, Mr. Black. I love it, man.
Thank you.
The realest one. You're my favorite progressive talker, man. Great talking to peace, you know.
Thank you, family. I appreciate it.
I just want to say, oh, yeah, always, man, always. I just want to say, man, like I said, you always, the best part of your show, man, is it seems to be, you know, it's what you speak, but the callers are always fine, man. Even the ridiculous ones, man. It's, you know, we all got to get in this shit together. We'll figure it out. And to the naysayers, the trolls that keep coming in, I hope y'all keep checking in, man. Something y'all might learn something tonight, you know, or the next night. But just keep on focusing, man. Stay on this track, and hopefully, like I said, man, this is something we're all in together, man. One people, you know what I'm saying? One world, one globe, you know. And on that note, I want to end on a little bit of magic tonight, Johnson. I love you, man. I love all of y'all, and I hope, you know what I'm saying, I hope to see better times and more. And also on that note, fuck the near attendant, but whatever, what you know what her name is. Y'all have a good night, Johnson.
All right, Johnson.
These beers out.
You got it, family. Thank you for calling up, man. Thank you for the positive words, my friend. All the way from South Texas, man, holding it down, man, and glad to hear you doing well, man, and I appreciate your generosity of spirit, family, because we need that these days, family. We need that. We need some. Look, I'm down for unity, but I want you, as long as you have your humanity in front of your humanity. You know what I'm saying? The unity got to have humanity in it. You know what I'm saying? I unify with you, but you got to be humane. If you humane that means you want for me what you want for yourself. You can't have me in the back of the bus. You want to be a humanity, unity with that. Want us to have unity in the community, and once they have humanity, you got to treat me like you would treat your best friend, and that's what we ask. That's all we ask. We want to be an ally. Don't want to ask why. Okay, don't make me ask why. If you want to be an ally, be a true ally. Okay, be a ride or die ally. Don't be a sometimes maybe Nah, don't be that type of ally. Be an ally that's down the ride. Okay, so there's a difference, and that's what I'm talking about. And it took me a while to figure it out. Took me a while to get it to like realize, because I'm a person, man, who like to give people the benefit of the doubt. It was how I was raised. I can't really, like, it's in me to be that way, man. I was a preacher's son. You understand what I'm saying? And it took me a while to get that way, to look at things the other way. People took advantage of Tim Black many times, man. They're like, Tim, why you didn't work with this person? What happened with that person? They took advantage of me. That's why. And now they got stories to tell. I don't have no stories to tell. I did right by them. I did well by them. I helped them. And then you listen to them down me. You listen to them down me after I did all I could to help them. And I finally walked away from them. Now they the pissed off X talking about he didn't do this, he didn't do that. I left them, they was fine. I didn't take nothing from them. So I learned that you can't be allied with everybody. You can't be everybody's friend. And always got to know people try to use you. Try to use you for what you got. But still, that don't stop me from still helping people. I still got my man Alex from Berkeley call up. Yvonne still calls up. My people on my phone line still open, man. We always keep the door open, man. We just do it smarter and better now. We just got to learn from your mistakes. But that's right, guys. Be an ally. Don't be a who damn. Why did I? Don't make me be that way. Don't be that way. All right, family, let's go to the next call. 520, thank you for your patience. You're next. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's going on, Tim? It's Sergio calling from Los Angeles, California. Appreciate you. Appreciate, the community that you're forming. Always speaking the truth, man. So mainly I just called just because I wanted to comment real quick on your video you made the other day. The one in regards to the tweets that were sent out by Cenk Uygur and in regards to Texas, and kind of just ill timing or just the things that they shouldn't be saying out loud, kind of trying to mock or, kid around about, things going on in Texas and Joe Rogan. I completely agree with you on all that because there's a time and a place for everything and, saying stupid, making jokes about, situations where people are, unable to eat, losing lives and stuff like that. And you don't do that type of stuff. One thing is that I just Rogan and this kick he's on, I don't know. It's like I said, I don't agree. I agreed with you completely on what's in the video. It's just more than anything, it's like as someone from California, from Los Angeles, born here, I believe, LA. It's hearing his disparaging, the way he disparages Los Angeles since he's left for Texas. That's just one of those things that I wish somebody would get. And someone needs to get him, but it was just, what they did the other day, taking all that stupid tweets when, dealing with Texas. It's just because he still comes out here and slams Newsom, which I don't trust Newsom at all because obviously he's related to Pelosi, so I can't trust the man. And that family. But, I don't need someone who left the state, continuously speaking on Los Angeles and California in a disparaging way. You left, good. You know what? Nobody really, people shouldn't care, unfortunately. He's got such a large community. And it kind of started this trend of influencers, just kind of putting up their YouTube videos or people putting up these videos on YouTube, just disparaging California and the state itself and, talking about how they're leaving and why they're leaving. Truthfully, nobody cares because someone else with money is going to move in, swipe up that property, as soon as they leave, as soon as they empty, vacate, that people are going to keep coming in. But, once again, I just, the way he just keeps disparaging and, obviously with his comments about Cruz and, just the other day, like, well, what could Cruz have done? Really? What could, obviously, he, you want to disparage Newsom so much, but, you don't want to face the reality of, certain things in this world. And, it is what it is. And I just want to say thank you again, my man. And in regards to one thing with Biden that, obviously I voted for the man because, the alternative I didn't see. I couldn't do the alternative, obviously. And, I voted for the man because, once again, I wanted to pick the next person that we fought against, knowing who they would be. But one thing is that he's really messing up by leaving DeJoy in charge of the post office. He is messing that up more. DeJoy is in the process of just messing up the post office even, more and more every day that he's in there. And even though Biden can't officially get rid of him, he can replace the entire board that has the power to dismiss him. And by not addressing that, as one of the first things he did coming into office, is really kind of a sign of some of the BS that they're just kind of doing with this, with everything. I don't trust Biden. Like you always say, man, Democrats and Republicans suck, Johnson. That's just it's more weird, and that's about. Thank you, man. I want to say thank you and your community, and I'll hit you back soon. Peace.
Give it up for Sergio, guys. Sergio in the house, man. And look, Sergio, man, brother, I appreciate you. And you know what? You educated me, right? Because I looked at my comment section and I saw that some people, they were sounding like you, Sergio. Like they understood where I was coming from. But they're like, but Joe Rogan had it coming. I'm like, okay, so people send it to me like, Tim, why is Jank and why is Stephen King making fun of people that moved to Texas? And this is not the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't the time to do that. And I understand their point of view. And that's how I saw it as well. But look, I never said cancel Jank because of it. I never said cancel Stephen King because of it. I just wanted to make a video about it because it was something that I thought I wanted to weigh in. And I do that from time to time. I weigh in on pop culture type stuff. But it doesn't mean I want you to cancel him over a tweet. But I do get your point. And be honest, brother, I have Spotify. I do not listen to Joe Rogan's show. I don't know, like, the stuff he said about Californians. I don't know about that. So, but look, if that's true, it is what it is. I mean, that sheds a little bit more light on why some people disagreed when I said that Jank shouldn't go there like that. Not doing a lot of people died, man. Over 50 people died. So, like, somewhere in the tweet say, hey, look, I'm sorry about the people that died doing this, this outage in freezing weathers. I just wish Joe Rogan something. He didn't though. He was like, one good thing out of this is Joe Rogan gets to suffer. It's like, well, a lot of other people suffer. Anyway, hey, look, man. I get your point, bro. I'm glad you called up to make your point. We ain't got to agree on everything. And look, you educated me a little bit more about Joe Rogan and some of the stuff he's been saying. Like, he defended Ted Cruz. That's what they do, man. And look, guys, there are a lot of people playing the Joe Rogan card. Like, they're figuring out what works for Joe Rogan, and they're learning from Joe Rogan how to be. And like, there's some people who learn from other people who learn from Joe Rogan on how to roll, and like those people learn from what's the dude's name from Fox News, the punchable face guy. Yeah, they learn from him, and and they just mimic it. And then other people mimic them, and it becomes copies of a copy of a copy of a copy. We got copies of a copy of a copy of a copy. You know what I'm saying? Anybody saw the movie Multiplicity? Michael Keaton? Okay, so like Ted, that guy Ted, right? From Fox News. They're copies of copies. What's the guy name? The caller volume is way louder than yours, Tim. Oh, okay. Who's the caller? They're talking about other stuff. Anyway, Multiplicity. Michael Keaton was one copy. He was the original, right? And then he made copies of himself. And every copy was a little dumber. Every copy was a little worse copy. Because if you copy a copy, it's always, you lose quality. And that's what happens. Like, we got these copies of Michael Keaton. But what's the Tucker Carlson? Thank you, Tucker Carlson. Give it up for Liu Kang. So, like, some of these people want to be Tucker Carlson, so they're a copy of Tucker Carlson. And then we got others who want to be a copy of Joe Rogan. But they become copies of a copy of a copy of a copy. The further you go down the list, the worse it gets, Johnson. That's the latest edition is a copy of a copy of an Etch-a-Sketch of a copy, and this is horrible, guys. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of it. And here's one thing about me, right? There are people who don't like this show or don't like me specifically, right? But I'm an original, right? Like, they can't say I'm like this person. Nah, I'm not like Boyce Watkins. I'm not like this other, was it Roland Martin? I'm not like Don Lemon. I'm not trying to be like Willie D. I'm not trying to be like Tariq Nasheed. I'm just being me. And I'm not trying to audition for MSNBC. And I'm not trying to be like I'm just being me. Got on a hat, got on this, but so like, look, guys, I don't know where that came from, but it's Tuesdays. The queue looks a little light, so I'm gonna go to next queue or next call. 919, you hung in there for a minute. Let's bring you in here, 919. What's up?
Hey, what's good, bro? How you living?
I'm good, fam. Who's this?
Hey, bro, this is Josh from about a month ago, bro.
Josh in the house, fam. What's on your mind, Josh?
Yeah, bro, just want to add to what you said earlier, bro. Really getting kind of tired of some of the shenanigans going on in Washington, man. You made a great point about, again, Trump just kind of in his own terrible way, of course, just showing how much influence the leader really can have when he or she wants to do real things. Unfortunately, in his case, a lot of self-interested things. But what can be really wielded in a big way if a person is going to actually, want to do things for the people. And I don't know, man. Just again, as you mentioned, social media is a powerful tool whenever you have a person that is effective and truly wants to get something done. And yes, I thought there was some hope when we had Kamala go to West Virginia and really actually meet with some people. But honestly, the more I see what's happened since, that just seems like it was a photo op to kind of get some points in just a fraudulent way. And that whole stuff with Tandy's nomination, honestly, just the fact that she was even tried to be appointed was just a disgrace in many ways in general. And showed just the level of disdain that there really is within the party itself for people that are more progressive thinking or even just want to do something for everyday people. And which again gets to my frustration that I discussed with you a little bit right after the election. Just this notion of really in many ways, of course, all people, but especially those in our community being like used in many ways as like these sharecroppers of having to just kind of be trotted out to have all this energy around going to the polls. But again, you look at what's been done and you're like, for what? Like seriously, what has been done for people that are really the most vulnerable? Especially in the travesties we're seeing right now, be it in Texas, be it just across the country with, as you mentioned, the COVID checks. Like the fact that we still don't have these checks that were promised, like that whole thing in Georgia, like if you vote for us, we're going to give you these $2,000 checks. Like I literally know people that are just struggling in ways that are just unimaginable. And I mean, I will say just seeing a lot of this nationwide has on a personal level made me a bit more compassionate, just in terms of seeing my fellow man struggle. I had an interesting interaction 2 days ago where I was just driving by and this guy, he seemed to be like strung out on something, but I motioned for him to cross the street because I stopped, and he basically like rushes up to my car door, and I was foolish and I hadn't locked it, and he just like yanks it open, and so of course I just kind of speed away because I'm like, I don't know what's going on, like I don't know what this is, but like I will admit, just unlike the past where I kind of just would have been like, this person's insane, like it really made me more so kind of think like a lot of people are in these terrible situations because we aren't as a society doing enough to take care of, again, just our citizens who actually build this country. And I don't know, bro, it's just a situation where you really just wish we had some people that cared about the people that they're there to serve, and it's not something that we have right now, and it sounds like, again, just a basic concept that you've discussed a lot, but it's becoming more and more real. And I don't know, your point about some of Cenk's comments, yeah, he irritated me a lot this week in general. Just be it, I mean, yes, I get that people like at the top level have been saying some foolish stuff about California and all of its problems, which also is because of corruption. But it was irritating to see those issues be kind of relegated to some of the back and forth that we tend to see among Twitter and stuff like that. And then honestly, just his whole take on how the Democrats and progressives should have defended Neera Tanden because of the attacks the Republicans had about her tweets and stuff. I have no desire to waste any of my energy defending someone as corrupt and someone that frankly has no love for any of the progressives. When it comes to any issue, and just that whole notion of, well, let's spite ourselves to kind of get back at Republicans rhetorically is just a stupid idea in my opinion. I don't mean to come off hostile to him as a person, but that was just stupid. And I was glad his co-person on the panel mentioned that. And I don't know, I just really appreciate you overall, man, just having the position that you take of really just, regardless of whatever's happening in the sphere, be it on Twitter and all this other rhetoric stuff, looking at what is the issue and how do we push forward people that are actually going to have a chance at making things better, period. All this other stuff is honestly a lot of entertainment for people that frankly are privileged enough to care about it. And I don't know, that might be an incorrect read on things, but I just think that, again, we're in a terrible spot, and just going along to get along is not going to be effective anymore. And so, I don't know, as I told you last time, I'm really just, again, a young dude trying to see how I can best impact things for the better. And it seems right now that just politics is not the way to go, given how corrupt our people are. And just the fact that, again, we have a trifecta on the Democratic side for the first time in a decade, and before that, I think in 30 years. And you see where that's getting us as a nation and just as a community. And again, this should go to show to any of the shills in corporate media that just the notion of, if you just support these people who give you this rhetoric, your life will be better. Again, that bubble has been burst. And honestly, if in 2 years, unfortunately, we see a red wave, and then we even see someone like Trump come back in 4 years, honestly, I don't know who honestly is going to have a take on this that is shocked by that result. You literally should not be in any form of job whatsoever if you don't have the cognitive ability to see the type of appeal that, unfortunately, a person who has that much vitriol with them, fakely directed toward the system, can gall and really coalesce people that already just have a bunch of misdirected angers and issues. Use that against, again, the people that have power and just are useless. And I don't know, man. It's irritating to see this. And as someone that this the last thing I'll just say is just I'm not even in politics at all. I'm just a student. But again, it's irritating that people who this is their full-time position, who we pay, who we give benefits to, can't see this. And isn't that they can't see, is that they know this, but they want to pretend so that the rest of us can stay dumb, and it's not going to work anymore. But thanks again for your time, bro. I'm sorry to rant. And again, I appreciate the show and keep doing what you're doing.
You got it, Josh. Thank you for the phone call, brother. I appreciate it. Josh, my brother. And man, look, it's not my goal to come out here and relentlessly go after people that do what I do. You don't hear Tucker Carlson. Well, I guess you do. Bad example. Anyway, I don't want to be somebody who's just spending time going after other people that commentate, okay? Because there are other people even worse than them, and it becomes, it's silly, right? So I don't want this to be about jank. But it's not just jank. This is independent media to a certain extent where, they want to play some team ball. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to say that Neera Tanden should be thrown out, though she should never be considered. She's not being thrown out. She has an organization that's very well and very successful. She's trying to get a new job, okay? And I don't think she's qualified for the job based on how the people feel about her and based on the exposure of her record. And that should be enough for a person not to get a job. There are many jobs you won't get if people think that you have a bad reputation with the customers. Okay? So this should not be as difficult. But there are people that want to play this team ball, look at they're the blue shirts against the red shirts, Democrats versus Republicans. And so they got to go with the Democrat. Here's the thing, guys. Joe Biden could just pick somebody else. Like, it can't get much worse. So why not support him getting somebody else? That's all. And you don't have to succumb to this. And don't give me the whole thing about Republicans let Trump do whatever. Last time I checked, you weren't a Republican, and this ain't Trump. So act accordingly. And if you're going to spend 4 years talking about how it's wrong that Trump appointed these swamp creatures, and then he's going directly, and then you're going to be quiet when Biden goes to the swamp and gets out similar swamp creatures, then that goes to show how hypocritical you were for the last 4 years. So, look, guys, like I said, it's not about me trying to beat up on other commentators, even though I know that's what some people are going to say anyway, because they want to defend something instead of stand up for principle. It's about principles. All right? Not personalities on this. And all I'm saying is, if you made a living the last 4 years saying Trump was a jackass, if Trump got these swamp creatures, and Trump brought in these horrible picks, and then when Biden makes horrible picks and swamp creatures, you're going, shh, Trump did it. Well, you are definitely not a thought leader, Johnson. And you don't have a leg to stand on. And that's how people should view it. Not about Democrats and Republicans. Have ethics and stand on that. That's why I come up, but, who am I? Who am I, Johnson? 323. You're live, 323. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, this is John. How you doing, Mr. Tim Black?
What's up, John? How you doing, fam?
Well, I'm doing all right. But what I'm about to say tonight is going to be probably one of the most deep and prevalent sets of things that I have to say. One, about this Joe Rogan incident, nobody black really cares. And besides, I live in Los Angeles. And I'm going to tell you right now, for a state to be number 5 in the world economy, while they got almost 500,000 people homeless out here, you need to be discouraged. That's number 1. Number 2, to everybody, black, not POCs. I'm sorry.
90 seconds.
The hatred goes deeper than y'all. Y'all get the stuff we can't get. To everyone who's black, who's hearing the sound of my voice, they don't want us except to die in their wars and to do medical experiments. They don't want us.
60 seconds.
Anything else is bullshit. They don't want us. They show time and time again they don't need us. You got that new so-called party. I'd heard more stuff about that new party than I can even deal with. And for the record, anyone white who says or even think about it should be all right to use the N-word, you are not an ally, period. End of story. Go die in a roast. You're not. Words off limits. And finally, number 3, co-op
10
is
seconds.
the biggest unity there is. So we need to unify our community by making co-ops who know how to sew, who know how to cook, who know how to drive a forklift, who's good at electronics, so on and so forth. And I got a database with over 30,000 individuals. We can build our own Black Wall Street. We could build our own New York. and we're putting it together slowly. I got a team of electronic geniuses, and I program in computer languages. We busted blockchain technology down. We can, and we're going to make our own cryptocurrency. And we are going to get it backed by revenues and resources, which will blow all the cryptocurrencies out of the water. Get ready for the exodus. Stop participating. Start communing and get ready for the exodus to leave this country. Go south. Go east to Africa. Go south to South America. Do not be around these disparaging people. Because I'm telling you, China don't like us, Japan don't like us, India don't like us, Chinese don't like us, Saudi Arabia don't like us. Everywhere across the Pan-European Express don't like us. Russia tolerates us. But we gotta go. If we got over 10,000 inventors, which we do, history shows that, and we made over 100,000 inventions, why are we here? We're not begging. I refuse to beg to be a human being. I will I mean somebody before I do that. Let's go. That's it.
I got to leave it there, Johnson. That was, wow. John. I wrote beside your name, John calls too often. I done scratched that out. John went off, y'all. Give it up for John. One more time, man. Now, only one thing I got to disagree with you on, John. I got to push back on it. As much as it may surprise you, okay? Listen, man, you said that white people don't need us in this country, Johnson. You said white people don't need us, man. You said they just need us for wars. They need us to die in their wars. You said they need us for medical experiments. And all that may be true. That may be true. But you're leaving out other important things they need us for, Johnson. They need us to rap and sing and play basketball. Look, Johnson, somebody's got to do these dance moves. Somebody got to make up super dances on TikTok and then have somebody white do the same dance and they become superstars. Somebody's got to tell jokes that are actually funny. Respect to John for pointing out that most black people don't know who the hell Joe Rogan is. So, a lot of people watch this show never saw Fear Factor. Oh, man. Hey, look, in defense of Joe Rogan, which I know, look, Mrs. Black's like, what? Okay, I will say this. Joe Rogan is just a guy who smoked a whole lot of weed and just used to have his friends come over and talk shit, who ended up being a star behind it, okay? He's a weird guy who did a lot of drugs and just cut on his camera and brought his friends over, his comedy friends. And then it took off for him. He ain't a political thinker. He's just a guy that ended up in this spot making more money. He signed a $100 million deal. Just having friends come over and this show blew up. And he's been doing it for like 10 years. So, in his defense, even though, look, that's all I'm saying is that we're just looking at a guy who accidentally got lucky and hit pay dirt. That's it. And now they can't control his ass. So as much as I don't want to cover him, the fact that he makes the powers that be a little antsy is the reason why I'm like, please let this guy say something that pisses him off. Because they don't really control what he says, and he says stuff, and like, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying. So for black people who don't know who he is, that's a guy who, there is no black version of Joe Rogan. I'm trying, but they see my ass come in like, oh, hell no, this guy, he mean that. Joe Rogan doesn't mean anything he says. I mean everything I say. That's why it's so hard to get traction, because, oh, you mean that? If I could tell you the names of people that said they were going to come on this show and then they bullshitted and ran out the back door, you'd be like, for real, Johnson? For real. And then they talk about they're going to be change agents. They couldn't even come on this show. They scared because I might say some real stuff. Thank you, John, for the phone call, man. You said you got 30,000 people, names and addresses of change makers or something. Who you be hacking, John? How you get everybody information? You sound like Facebook. You sound like Face Crook. Blockchain, what's up? Holla at your boy. Hey, man, I ain't take a vow of poverty, man. Shoot. I left the Jehovah's Witnesses a long time ago. What up with the paper? How we gonna get this paper, player? Shoot, mama need a new pair of shoes. Mrs. Black need a new pair of shoes, man. All right, I'm gonna go next call, guys. Thank you for holding on. 505, you're next. Thank you for holding on, 505. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tail Black, what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
What's up, my friend?
Doing great, man. Hey, this is Rise with our eyes Rise. Man, you keeping it funny tonight, man. I appreciate that comic relief, too, for real.
Thanks, fam.
John, what the last caller said, John said he better go Idi Amin on the That's too much. Hey, the reason I called in, man, I think her name was Renee. How do I get access to that document that she's going to shoot you on MPP and that BS?
Wow, okay. She's on Twitter, fam. So am I. I'm on Twitter as well. She
What's
put
her
it
Twitter?
Yeah, I don't. What is her Twitter, man? You know what? We're gonna have to look that up, fam. I don't know it off the top of my head, fam. But yeah, follow me on Twitter,
okay.
and I'll retweet her. I'm Real Tim Black, so follow Real Tim Black, and I'll tweet it out.
Say that again.
I am Real Tim Black.
Okay, so hit you up on Twitter.
Hit me up, and I'll retweet it. The message.
Right, cool.
I'll retweet her stuff. So yeah, that's what's up.
Better way, appreciate it.
No doubt, man.
Hey, also, remember I called in a few times before, right? I was telling you before that back in 2018, about the end of 2018, we paid to name Jank's iPad. They had this, TYT had this thing called the Amplify campaign, right? Where they put all these items in the studio on sale where people could call in and buy the right to name the items in the studio. So this has been over 2 years ago. So when we first did it at the end of 2018, my wife and I were talking about it, and we said we're going to keep it anonymous for now, the name of the iPad, right? Because Jake was doing some questionable shit. Oh, excuse the language. He was making some questionable moves, right? And so, come to find out, he sold his soul in TYT a few months later after we'd already made the purchase. So nevertheless, we've kept it anonymous the entire time up to this point. We reached out to him recently and told him we're going to release actually, we did tell him to release the name about 8 or 9 months ago, and there was silence, crickets. They didn't say anything, right? So we let some time go by. We reached out about a couple months ago to tell him we were canceling our subscription, right? And then also hit him up with what's the update on the naming of Jake's iPad and when's it going to be released. So they got back to us and said, we're going to give you 2 years free membership, and Jake's going to release the name of the iPad when he gets back in the studio, like he ain't got his iPad on him at home. So that's BS right there. But nevertheless, the name of his iPad is greenloversdream.com. And he has it on him all the time. So my question to you is, because the name has not been released, what would you suggest adding to the name to help the most amount of people? Because TYT ain't going to do it on their own. But at least we have that little bit of pressure by owning the name of his iPad, which he has to say at some point So greenlevelzine.com, what would you add to that to help the most amount of people?
Wow,
kind
fam.
of a survey kind of thing.
Wow. Well, damn, brother, that's something else, fam. Look, I gotta keep it moving, man. But I definitely can't come up with something off the top of my head, man. That's too much of a great opportunity, right? You know, they got 5 million subscribers, so I don't know how many views they get on videos, but any audience that you get from them would be, you know, that's important. I don't know. I think we want to table that for a minute and kind of think about it. But I appreciate you calling in, Reg, man, on that, because that's wow, naming stuff in the studio, huh? You want to name Tim Black's water bottle? Yeah, I'm taking a drink from the Smart Sister water bottle. Like that? That's what they did? People paid for that? Man, I got to learn how to hustle, man. Damn, for real? This is the Alex from Berkeley pen. I'm using my Alex from Berkeley pen today. For real, dog. Man. All right, I'm going to go to 561, the next call in queue. 561, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Ty from South Florida.
Ty, my brother, what's happening, fam?
I'm gonna hop right into it, Tim. I want to talk about a sentiment I've been seeing a lot lately over the past few years. Some people, mainly neighbors, complaining they're seeing too much Black Lives Matter stuff on the TV. It's like they want to say they're tired of it. They're not racist, so why should it have to be in their face all the time? They want to talk about when is enough is enough. And I just want to say it's only enough when your kids and myself and everybody else, that's a person that's dark in this country, doesn't have to be afraid to walk down the street when stuff like that 9-year-old girl getting pepper sprayed in the back of the cop car, when that shit ain't happening no more, then it can be enough. But as long as, you know, I'm still getting pulled out of line at the airport for bomb residue testing after I've been through security, and as long as that stuff keeps happening, then it ain't enough. And it needs to be more. And it needs to be shoved down their throats even more, because what is on the TV, people ain't really learning. I mean, I make house calls for a living, and I sound drastically different than I look. And I see it all the time, how I get one tone over the phone, and then when I show up, the story's changed and I get treated completely differently. And I'm just sick of having to see it on TV being equivalated to the same problems that you're seeing on TV. And not you, but, you know, just people around me. So that's all I got to say. I know it's kind of a rant and a little bit, I guess, maybe a little off topic, but thanks for letting me say my piece. I appreciate it.
You got it, Ty, man. Thank you for calling up, fam. Sorry you go through that bullshit, man. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, I don't wish that on nobody, fam. I don't wish that on anyone, man. That nonsense. Oh, man. (231) You're live, 231. What's your name? What's your comment? 231.
Abigail's dad here, Tim. How you doing tonight?
Abigail's dad, how you doing, fam?
Hey, wife, kids, they're doing their passport paperwork. Want to go to Cancun? I mean, I hear the weather's nice down there. Next time there's a big snowstorm, I hear that's the place to go. How about that free market capitalism down there in Texas? That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. You hear about that one utility? In less than a week, they had to pay more for their electricity than their county budget or city budget for the whole year. Man, that's free market capitalism. Man, that's just crazy. That's crazy. I just don't get it. I will say this, though, and I hope everybody took a good look at Texas.
I know after Texas and that big storm, I made sure my little heater's down in the basement, and I live up here in Michigan, so it's real. It's real for 4 months a year. When the power goes out up here and we have a big storm, it gets real quick. Because it's 0, it's 20, it's 30. But by golly, made sure after watching that stuff that little heater down in the basement, and it's 5 gallons of kerosene sitting there, and we're ready to go, you know. And that's something all of us should think about. And a lot of us, we get so complacent, and I understand down there. I mean, God, the storm was over at 60 degrees the next week. You know, they don't think about that. So, okay, I'll tell Abigail heard me on the phone and come running in here. And she says, hi, Tim.
Hey, little Johnson.
Take the brownies out of the oven this time. Yeah, that happened last time. I got on the phone. I had brownies in the oven last time I was talking to you, Tim. And I was waiting, and then you answered my phone call. And then I forgot about the brownies. It wasn't an hour later after the brownies had been done, somebody said, hey, Dad, those brownies still in the oven? I went, oh, my God.
Right.
Don't forget when you're talking to Mr. Black,
That's it,
if
brother.
you got stuff baking in the oven, don't forget
That's it, man.
to go back and get it out of the oven.
Got to do it, Johnson.
But no, this stuff... This stuff. People are starting to really. I don't fault the people of Texas at all. There's a lot of stuff down there, and we don't live there. We don't understand it. But when you look at the heavy industry and the money, the big money down there, it's hard to compete with that. We all know that. We've all been watching that. Everything that's happened in the last year. Just the last year. If you just started watching last year, people are starting to understand the big money interest in this country, and there's a lot of that in Texas that led to those problems. And it's hard for the people to compete against that.
That's right.
Joe Rogan, though, that's just another Johnson with a microphone. That is the depiction of Johnson with a microphone. But I just call, say hi, and you keep us sane from day to day up here sometimes, especially in this cold winter. There's Tim Black and there's ice fishing. So that's all I got for you tonight, Tim. You have a good night, and they just pulled the brownies out of the oven. We didn't forget them this time, so I'm going to listen to the rest of your show and have a brownie.
You got it. Abigail's dad, y'all give it up. Abigail's dad, and give it up for little Abigail as well. Hey, Abigail, how you doing? How you doing, Abigail? Hope you're learning some stuff and staying warm and listening to Pop, you know? What else, guys? That's it. What a show tonight. What a show, man. I mean, you guys come through even on a Tuesday. And I know it ain't easy, Johnson. It's the middle of the week. We're working to bring back a day show. By popular demand, we're going to have a day show starting next week. So we're going to also, the night shows aren't going to change. Still do the night shows. But I found it important to do a day show. Because this is what I do. And more is better, right? So there are people who can't catch the night show. We're going to do a day show, an original day show. It's not going to be the same content from the night show. So it's going to be an extra incentive for people to become members of the Wolfpack because you might want to get more content. It is what it is, Johnson. I want to give it up once again. Let me give it up for everybody who called in tonight, everyone who participated in the show, all the great calls, Gary, Luke Kang, Smart Sister, Sergio, Josh, John, Reg, Ty, Abigail's dad, Renee, hitting it off, Renee, killing it. We had a great show, guys. Anything else? I had a great interview today with a delegate out of Maryland, Janelle Wilkins, and we state delegate, and we talked about qualified immunity and many other things. It's a great conversation. That video will be out tomorrow, so give it up for Delegate Janelle Wilkins. And with that, guys, let's go. Oh, Everybody on Patreon, my Patreon supporters, thank you for supporting this show. People on YouTube, thank you for supporting the show. All the Tim Black Wolfpack members, thank you for supporting the show. People on Facebook, thank you for supporting the show. This show don't happen without you guys. So thank you for making this possible. We did good work tonight. We spoke truth to power. We may have woke up a couple of people who saw this show who didn't know about the show. And this is how good things happen. Let's go to Super Chat, see what comments were made. I got some comments to read, y'all. We Carry Signs showing us love. Sheldon Hughes showing us love. New member, Eric Cervantes in the house. My brother. Thank you, Eric. Dave L says, a kid in Plano was walking home in a t-shirt because the hoodie would have been too dangerous. Damn. Damn. Dave L, what's up, man? That's perfect. If he had a hoodie on, he might have got shot, huh? He may have had something in his hoodie. Bose-Einstein. I care as far as my GOP best friends care. Biden. Damn. Bose, what's up, man? I care as far as my GOP best friends care. That's a weird comment, Bose, from Biden. I don't even know the context of that, but it just sounds screwy. But, you know, we are talking about Joe Biden. So what he says kind of... What time is it, Joe? Well, here's the thing. You know, when we're talking about time, time is a thing that can create make all types of feelings inside when you start talking about time. And there's all types of time that you can have. Sometimes you have a good time, sometimes you have a bad time. But when I was a kid growing up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, when my dad would say to me, he would say, son, he would say, Joey, there's a time to live and there's a time to fry. There's a time to go outside and get the eggs. And there's a time to let the hair on your legs to stand up. And there's a time for us to come together. It's a time to be a beacon on the light, shining on the light when the light switches off. And there's a time, there's all types of times. And that's why it's never ever nothing ever we couldn't do. We all band together to do it. I'm Joey Biden, Jill Biden's husband, and time's what we need. That's all right, man. I got the time. It's 1:50. Thank you. It was 1:47 when I asked you. Goddamn time. Maybe, remind me not to ask you what time it is, because I don't have time to listen to you tell me what time is. You ladies and gentlemen, Johnsons, you know what time it is. Cut the check. And I mean reparations, and I mean stimulus, and I mean relief, and I mean cut them damn student debt, and I mean get rid of qualified immunity. I mean cut all of it. Cut the jibber jabber and cut the check, Johnson. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Shout out to my moderators who take time out of their lives. Speaking of time, they take time out of their lives to help do this show and try to keep it righteous. Hit me up if you have time to help out moderate. Tim at TimBlackTV.com. Follow me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. On Instagram, I'm Tim Black at Night. Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. There we go. What else? Email me at tim@timblacktv.com. Send your hate mail to client care at timblacktv.com. That's it, guys. I'm out of here. I'll see you soon. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Sprinkle some facts on them. And we're all Johnsons. Johnson.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.